Hello everybody and welcome back to Out of Body. In today's video I'm going to be talking about a really bizarre experience that I had like a couple of years ago actually, and I just completely forgot about it. It has to do a little bit with astral projection, I think. So yeah, I thought it would be a good way to kind of take back the out of body sort of side to my channel, since we just got done doing 13 Nights of Halloween and doing all the creepy stuff. Of course I still want to do creepy stuff on here, but I'm going to kind of, you know, get into some of the other topics that I do on this channel now that we're in my so-called ordinary time, not during Halloween season. So what happened is, now this was when my son was still a baby. Like right now he's actually a toddler. He's about 2.5. This happened when he was around 6 months old, I want to say. And it was after Christmas, and it was when his dad actually took him to out of state to his parents so that Declan could see his grandparents on his dad's side. So he had to take him on a plane, which I was a little bit nervous about. I know everybody was nervous about it, but it turned out fine. And then this would also be the first time that I would be completely apart from my son for 4 days in a row without seeing him. Like, it would be the first time I'd ever gone 4 days without seeing him at all. So it was very hard. I will say that was a difficult experience, especially him being so young, but everything ended up turning out fine. Now, what happened while he was gone is what is very bizarre. So of course I missed him dearly. Of course I cried myself to sleep. I'll just 100% admit that. Like, every night I just cried and cried. So what happened is, it was the morning on the day before he was supposed to come back. So he was gone 4 days, so this was like the morning of the third day, I want to say. So I was asleep. It was late enough in the morning to where the sun was out, but still early enough to where I was like trying to sleep. It must have been, I think he took him over a weekend, so it must have been like Saturday or Sunday morning, so I was sleeping in. So what happened is I woke up a couple of times and I would just kind of barely look around the room. For whatever reason, I could sense someone in the room. And there were times, like as a side note, there were times when he would be at his dad's for a night where my mom and I, when I was staying with her, we would actually swear that we would hear Declan cry, but he wasn't there. And so what happened that morning is, it wasn't that I heard him cry or anything. What happened is that it felt like he was there, and I looked over at the crib and he wasn't there. And I was like, yeah, he's not here. I don't know why I thought he was here. But it felt like he was there, and I could swear that if I looked over at the crib, he'd be there. Like, I just felt mother's intuition. I don't know, I just felt like he was there. I kept waking up that morning like 3 or 4 times, just having that feeling like he was there in the room. The last time I woke up, it's kind of hard for me to remember exactly if I was awake or if I was dreaming. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say I was probably in more of a halfway awake, halfway asleep sort of state. But I could see around the room, and I saw this man, and he was on the far side of the room, and he was like, he had this light around him. You know, he wasn't a little boy, he was a man. So it was kind of interesting. I couldn't really see like features too well. I could tell he had kind of blondish hair, which my son does have blonde hair, and light eyes and very pale skin. It looked like he was wearing real faded blue jeans or something, like kind of a light blue on the bottom and then like white on top, and he was just glowing. Like, it was just this glow, and my eyes couldn't really adjust fully. In that moment I was still having that feeling, and right before that moment I was having that feeling that my son was in the room, and I was like, what in the world? And all of a sudden I kind of see this vision, or you know, whatever it was. I see this man on the far side of the room, just standing there, and he's kind of leaning up against, I think there was like a chest of drawers back there, and on that side of the room, and he was kind of leaning up against it, kind of like this, just kind of like looking at me. I didn't know what to think of it in the moment, because again, I was like half asleep, I was really tired, and I was like, what and who is this? At first it didn't register to me that it could be like maybe the spirit of my son somehow, and I was like, who is this? I thought maybe it was a spirit guide. And then he kind of just sits there for a little while, and then eventually he gets up and he walks away and disappears. So later on when I wake up, I realize, oh my gosh, I believe that was my son somehow either astral projecting in a sort of way. I mean, I don't think he knows how to do that, but maybe he was just doing it without realizing it, or somehow his soul, I believe his soul visited me because before that day I was having a really hard time with being separated. So needless to say, that day I was doing a lot better because it gave me a lot of comfort. So I thought it was interesting that I 100% believe and feel that he visited me, but he visited me in a adult form. So yeah, that's about the extent of it. That's a very, very bizarre, I think a very, very significant experience, and I don't know how I forgot to talk about it on here. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this. What are your theories? Have you ever heard of anything like this before happening to a parent and a child, or just between two people who are really connected and really love each other, you know, like somehow visiting each other in their dreams or visiting each other astrally, even without intentionally doing it, without, you know, consciously realizing that they're doing it. So yeah, let me know your theories, and thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. I promise I am going to try my darndest to upload once a week from here on out. I'm going to make the time for it. I'm going to do it because this YouTube thing is something I really want to do and I really enjoy, and I appreciate all you guys who watch it. So have a good day or night, whatever time it is when this video reaches you, and I will see you in the next video next week. Bye.